Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this machine makes Minecraft in Minecraft using concrete powder, pistons, and a lot of redstone. The gray concrete powder represents stone, brown for the dirt, and then green on top for grass. Taking advantage of the powder's ability to fall, we can use that to stack it before eventually pushing it towards us. And that's how this works. It just spits out a slice of landscape, pushes it towards us, and then immediately starts the next one. And so it goes. Both sides work together at the same time and slowly get pushed towards each other, and eventually they get joined together to form a unique seed. Here's the final product of this run. It's totally random and totally unique. When I designed this, I wanted to make it like Minecraft Alpha. Very simple, limited block palette, and something possible. Just something to get you back to the essence of Minecraft with that unique map and the feeling of simplicity. Alpha also had this really cool feature where you can pick to generate a new seed, and just like that, after some silly messages, you have a totally new world. And that's another feature I wanted to grab. So my goals going into this were use concrete powder, make it generate a random arrangement, make it able to clear and start over, and not waste any concrete powder along the way. And then just as a shout out to Minecraft Alpha, I also surrounded the whole thing by endless oceans. So this is just a small concept model. So here we have a bunch of different levels that are all loaded with concrete, but not all of them drop at once. In fact, it's random. So it'll go or not. Basically, it spits out what it wants to and then pushes that towards the middle. And conceptually, that's how the larger one works. The important thing is we have more total levels than what gets spit out most of the time. So here we are back at the main one at one of the two backsides. And here we have 10 total levels. And of that, 3 will always go. 1 grass, 1 dirt, and 1 stone. And the other ones are somewhat random. So 3 to 10, that means 7 levels of elevation change. And that's enough to really get things feeling like Minecraft. So some levels will lose it all, and others will lose random amounts. This run will clear out the middle, and then the sides can restock afterwards. Randomness was actually really hard to get right. So this was a hypothetical generation that I made, and boy was it wrong. First off, nothing is smooth like in Minecraft. And second, there are no hills and there are no valleys. And the reason is, if it's just like a coin flip, this stuff will always end up being roughly the same height. So I had to think about this like Mojang. So Mojang has chunks, and chunks can be hills or plains, and that's how I had to do it. So our space is divided into 4 chunks, and each chunk will be either a hill or a plain. And when I did this, it was so close. But there was an issue. So it's lame if a hill always lowers itself close to the edge of the chunk, only to raise up again. If there are 2 hills, I don't want them to go down and then back up. So the redstone checks on itself and then sees if it sees 2 hills, and it knows to fill in between them if it does. With that relatively tiny tweak, we get way better diversity. So with a 1 in 3 chance, each chunk can be a hill, and that can lead to no hills, or 1 hill, and sometimes even multiple hills. And where did I put that? Well, it's down here. So usually my redstone room looks like trash, but this has to be my most scenic redstone room ever. I won't get too much into it, but basically it'll pick the chunk types right at the start, and then some AND gates will see what the other ones are doing. And then wool, it's not a real project until you get wool involved. But the wool goes all the way up, and the signal tells the pistons what to do. And all of this to bring us back to the heart and soul of Minecraft bliss. So how do we clean this place up for the next one? Well, this whole thing is on mud, and that is not an accident. So mud is an interesting block because it's not full height, and it can be moved by pistons. So what this means is falling blocks will break on them. Think of it as like a torch that can be moved by a piston. Blocks can be pushed over it, and that's totally fine, but when they fall on them, they break. And that's how this works. When we're ready for the next map, we press a button, and all the blocks instantly break, and it starts spitting out the next one. If this video takes off a bit, I simplified a lot of my problems as well as my trials and tribulations that could turn into a video. So that'll be linked here. Otherwise, get out of here.